Welcome back to Huawei Routing and Switching Elite Training. Today topic we are going to discuss on VLAN. Let's start our part 4.
Okay, so let's go back into our PC1 here. So as you can see, the PC1 having a MAC address of 000000111111. So if I do a ping to 1112, alright, so you can see that it's pingable. And when I do a ARP-A, so I'm pinging to the 000000333333, which is belong to PC3. So let me show you the PC3. So that is the PC3 IP, sorry, the MAC address, as well as this is a MAC address of PC2, and this is the MAC address of PC4. Okay, so let's go back into the switch 1, and we are going to configure the MAC address based VLAN. Okay, let me undo terminal monitor, system view. Now firstly, when I do a display port VLAN, one of the requirements to configure MAC address based VLAN is it have to be a hybrid port. So Ethernet 001 already in hybrid port, but the 002 is still in SS port. So let me go back into Ethernet 002, and I have to undo the port default VLAN, and I'm going to change the link type to hybrid. Okay, so both now the port 001 and 002 already in hybrid port. Alright, so let's look into how to configure our MAC address based VLAN. So on the PC1 is supposed to be 000000111111. It's supposed to be in the VLAN 2. So firstly, VLAN 2, I'm going to configure MAC VLAN. Alright, so the MAC address of this guy is 0000. Let me show you here. Alright, so this is in the H minus H format. So it's quad 0 dash 0011 dash 41. Okay, that is on the Mac for the PC1. Okay, now I'm going to go to VLAN 3, MAC VLAN, MAC address. So this guy will be 22-2222. Okay, so when I do a display MAC VLAN, MAC address all, so as you can see from here, I have the PC1 MAC address is a VLAN 2, and MAC address of 2, alright, that's PC2, that's belong to VLAN 3. And next I need to go into the interface, and I have to configure the hybrid port as well as to enable the MAC VLAN enable. So firstly, Ethernet 001 port hybrid untag VLAN 2 to 3, and I configure this very important command called MAC VLAN enable. Okay, so let me do a display this. This is the configuration of Ethernet 001. I go to the 002 now. Okay, then I'm going to configure port hybrid untag VLAN 2 to 3 MAC VLAN enable. Okay, so this is the command on the port number 2. So I'm going to copy this command, and I'm going to configure that on number 3 and number 4 on this particular switch 2. So before that, again, I have to configure the VLAN. Okay, VLAN 2 MAC VLAN MAC address. This time I'm going to configure 33. Okay, and I have a VLAN 3, so this time will be in 44. Okay, let me do a display MAC VLAN MAC address all. Alright, so that seems to be correct. Okay, then I go into the interface Ethernet 001. Okay. Okay, that's correct. So I'm going to paste here. So this is in the access VLAN. So I'm going to configure this as the undo port default VLAN, undo link type. Sorry. Let me do a display this port link type hybrid. Okay. Okay, so port hybrid untyped VLAN 2 to 3 MAC VLAN enable. Then I'll go to the 002, which is this part here. So this is in SS, so I'm going to undo port default VLAN, port link type hybrid, and I'm going to configure the port hybrid. Okay, there you go. Alright, so I have the full configuration. Okay, that will be on the Ethernet 1 and Ethernet 2, as well as I have configured the MAC address configuration. Now let's do a pinging. So if I'm going to go to PC1 and I'm going to ping to 1.1.1.2, alright, so you can see that it's pingable. Alright, and this time we are actually configured based on MAC address VLAN, display VLAN 223. So as you can see from here, so we have the VLAN 2, that is our E001. Okay, now E002 is also belong to VLAN 2 as well as VLAN 3. That is very much depend on what type of MAC address that we have. So when we do a display MAC address, okay, so you can see that I have a PC1 belong to VLAN 2 and PC3 belong to VLAN 2 as well. Let me double check here. So this is supposed to belong to VLAN 3. Okay, so let us do a ping 1.1.2.2. Alright, so it's pingable. Alright, so let's us go back and do a checking. Right, so you can see that there's a correct one here. So this is a PC2, which is 2222, that's belong to VLAN 3. Right, so what we have here is the MAC address based VLAN assignment. So remember that we have to configure the port hybrid, and inside the interface we have to enable MAC VLAN enable. So this exercise we are going to look into another method to assign VLAN. We are going to look into subnet-based VLAN assignment. Just like the earlier lab, instead of using the interface or MAC address, so this time we are going to base on the IP subnet. Okay, the topology will be exactly the same, so we have VLAN 2 and VLAN 3. Now what you can see from here is the configuration. So on the VLAN 2 we are going to configure IP subnet. Alright, IP subnet, VLAN 1 here, IP, this is the index. Alright, and IP subnet VLAN, this is under the VLAN 3, that's the index. And we go to the interface and we enable the interface for IP subnet VLAN. Alright, so that is all it need for you to configure based on the IP subnet. So let's jump back into our configuration and see how we can solve this issue. Alright, so continue from our previous lab. Alright, so earlier on my VLAN 2, I'm based on MAC VLAN. So this time I'm going to configure IP base, okay, VLAN. So let me undo the MAC VLAN. Okay, So let me just remove this, and I also need to remove this as well. That will be on the VLAN 3. Right, so let me go back to VLAN 2, IP subnet VLAN. Okay, so I'm going to base on the IP, that is the index. Okay, so let's configure the index one, that's the default IP. So this time I'm going to configure 1.1.1.0. Okay, this will be on 24. So on the VLAN number 3, I'm going to configure IP subnet. All right, and this one will be based on 1.1.2.0.24. Okay, display this. Okay, so this is the index automatically created for us. And next we have to go to the interface, right? So we have interface 001 and 002. So let me go to the interface Ethernet 001. Just now we have MAC VLAN enable. This time we are going to undo MAC VLAN enable. We are going to use IP subnet VLAN enable. Okay, and I'll go to Ethernet 002, Ethernet subnet VLAN enable. Right, so let me show you the display command. Display IP dash subnet VLAN, and I want to show all the VLAN. So as you can see that the first subnet here that belong to VLAN 2, and the second subnet belong to VLAN 3. So let me do a display MAC address. Okay, so currently I do not have any ARP entry here or MAC address entry here, and let's just do a testing. Now remember that the switch number 2 is still based on the MAC VLAN. All right, but since this is already in VLAN 2 and this is in VLAN 2, by right they should be able to ping. This is based on IP subnet, and this is based on the MAC address. So let me do a ping. All right, as you can see that I'm able to ping to 1112, and I'm going to ping from here 1122. All right, there you go, you can see that. And let me do a display MAC address, and you can see that the MAC address corresponds to the correct VLAN. All right, and that is based on the MAC address VLAN, display IP subnet VLAN. Okay, so this is how you can configure the IP subnet base. And please remember that inside my interface Ethernet 001, as you can see that the configuration must be in hybrid port. All right, and inside my VLAN 2, I need to do a correct mapping. All right, so those that belong to 1.1.1.0 belong to VLAN 2. Now please remember that this is more for quite a static environment. All right, because this is not a very secure way to assign your VLAN based on subnet. Okay, so next we are going to look into protocol-based VLAN assignment. All right, so this is based on the protocol. So we already see the VLAN can be assigned based on interface. We also look into the MAC address assignment, IP subnet, and now we are going to look into the protocol. All right, so the protocol over here that we are going to assign based on the requirement is we are going to base on the IPv6 and IPv4. Okay, so this is the IP address on the IPv6, and here we leave it as default. All right, so if we look into the configuration, is very simple. So what we need to do here is on the VLAN. All right, so we are going to configure that protocol VLAN IPv6 that is on VLAN 2, protocol VLAN based on IPv4. And in the interface, we are going to configure protocol VLAN. All right, as you can see from here, protocol VLAN. So the rest will be the same. All right, and this is the display command. All right, so again, the requirement for the protocol-based VLAN, you notice that it have to be in the hybrid port again. So let's jump into our lab and see how we can do this protocol-based VLAN assignment.
Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel.